The following podcast may contain strong language. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome to Hallmark of Greatness, the podcast that discusses the films that can only be made with special tiny hammers. I'm Joe, and with me as always, she survived being hunted for fun in the cold Alaskan tundra using only her wits and an Uber gift card. It's Katie.
Hello.
And having told Santa his special Christmas wish, we've let him out on the main show, the man with the tiniest hands in all of podcasting. It's James. Hello.
Yeah, I've been promoted. I think I'm just filling in
temporarily.
Just filling in.
It's Christmas.
She was once on Last Orders as well, so this is the natural progressions.
Everyone wants to leave Last Orders.
I don't know where Bernie went.
Become a god. Yes.
But yeah, I'm filling in. I'm not much better. I sound like shit.
You've brought a strange film with you.
Yeah.
A Last Orders film, if ever there was one.
I know. I thought it was going to be like a proper Hallmark film, but
it started off with all the classic trappings of it, and quickly went down a dark path.
Very strange.
Before we get to that, if you would like to keep up to date with all of the Hallmark of Greatness gossip, you can follow us on Twitter at Hallmark of Great. Get on it while you can, boys and girls. All one word. Or we are on Instagram and Facebook at Hallmark of Greatness. Or, as it's Christmas and you've got a Christmas film you want us to watch that you think this is the best Christmas film ever made, send us an email at hallmarkgreatness@gmail.com and we will probably watch it.
We'll consider it.
They're showing them all on like Channel 5 and the Christmas channel started now. And so like Harvey's been taping them. The theory is because there's like 3 of them on in a row. If you fall asleep at strategic point, you can make one long mega film.
That's the dream, right there.
Yeah, and you're like,
that's what happened with this film.
This film is a portmanteau of 5-6 other styles of film, all mashed together. None of them pay off, and it's got a man with the longest face I've ever seen in a Hallmark film.
This is very similar to the last film that you did on the regular show. I can't remember what the name was, but it was the fictional town of Garland.
Christmas wrapping.
Scarf. That was it. Christmas Under Wraps.
Yes.
It's very much a rip-off of that, isn't it?
But while that was sort of like, oh, is he Santa? It's like, will they all die of cancer from living under the telephone lines? It was, yeah, it just didn't feel, there was no joy in this.
No, but it's got this, is he or is he not Santa sort of thing.
Oh, no, he's just a maniac, that lad.
Yeah.
Well, let's
get into it.
Dither around the holly bush any longer than unnecessarily. Right. Do you want your standard jingles or do you want some Christmas shite I've just found?
Christmas shite!
It's got to be the Christmas shite.
It's just this. Like a spooky child's music box.
Well, that's unsettling.
I'll jazz it up. I'll put a couple of parts in there and stuff. This week's film, 2021's Christmas Collision, recommended to us by Jen from what I had heard was, because this is filmed in her town, apparently.
Scarf.
Not Scarf, not Snorkel. The town of...
Little Richmond.
New Richmond.
Tiny wee Richmond of old.
One of my facts doesn't make sense anymore.
I don't think it's called that. I think it's called New Richmond for the film because they can't film in a real place, can? Because then all the people will be going there going, oh, we want to go and see Charles's mum's house that I thought was his wife for so long.
I'm going to try her vinegary biscuits.
Oh,
that sounds like a euphemism. That's what makes it special. The vinegar. But yes, this is I faltered the classic trap of doesn't have to be set at Christmas.
Yeah. That's
could be at any time of year.
I mean, props to who shouted out about this film, having this associated with your hometown. My hometown has a football hooliganism film after it.
That is true. I've got now in my hometown. Danny Boyle's from here.
Yeah, Slumdog Millionaire was set there.
Yes, up near the tip, I believe. Yeah, up near the Dano. Let's get into it. It has 19 different production companies at the start of this.
Oh,
film.
I've got my thing. My
Oh, sorry,
automated
we got
plotter
way
thing.
too much into it. Yeah, they fire up the predictomatron.
It's gone all Christmassy. It's had too much of the nog, and it's decided that it's called the Sprouty Plot Conk of all Tinseltown.
That's good.
Serenity Christmas is a local seasonal chestnut vendor who's a bit down on the holidays because she is being pursued by wolves. She changes her mind.
That'll do it.
Changes her mind when she bumps into Jebediah Christmas, a merry gentleman who can only drink 0% milk and whose favourite thing is Calor gas heaters.
Hey, that's me.
Things take a seasonal turn when the local nativity play requires an A-list celebrity for some reason, and the two of them must work together. Will they egg that nog? Signs point to yes.
That's better than this.
It's got former stuff just sort of fed into it.
Yeah,
along with
it's
people's
not.
comments.
It's just a bit drunk on the Advocar at this point. Yeah, other egg-based drinks are available. I do like the fact she's selling her chestnuts to wolves. It seems like a fool's errand, as they're not omnivores. They will just. But yeah, there are. Yeah, like I said, at the start of this film, there are. Is it 5 production companies?
Yeah.
All including
Crazy Cat Lady.
Crazy Cat Lady
Productions.
Pictures. One person working out of a garage. So I think it's Mr. Film, Mrs. Film. It'll be that. And yeah, we open on a cityscape as we always do. That's a given at this point, isn't it? And we're introduced to the female protagonist of the film, the main body of the film. Is she? Theodora.
Full name Theodora. She's never Theo. It's always Theodora.
I think that's because Barney's kid's called Theodore. I kept thinking he's not there. She's walking down the street doing business.
Business talk.
Escrows, the mergers in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll do.
What is escrow?
I don't know.
No,
I
they're
thought
always
it was
on
a
about
sports
it.
channel.
I thought it was like a cybernetic crow from the future. But her assistant, she's like, "Oh, I'm coming into the building now." Oh, and then she meets her at the lift, gives her a coffee, and then just fucks off again. Didn't know why. Is it to show how busy she was?
Yeah, I think so.
And how nice the assistant is. I think.
Yeah, they're best pals, as all assistants are.
Well, she says, "I'll help you, but how much is my bonus this year?" So she's only doing it for the cash, really. She's paying to be a friend.
Yeah, that's Melissa, isn't it? She's lucky because quite a lot of the characters. I've watched this twice now, and I don't know many characters' names.
I've watched this beginning bit about 20 times because I fell asleep a lot. It is dull, this film. It is dull and bleak and has moments that make fucking Fatal Deviation look like Citizen Kane. Like, there's just... But yes, and she's going in to meet with her boss.
Yeah, and also a young lad who looked like Michael Bluth to me.
Oh, Kelly?
Kelly.
Don't know his name.
Who is like another assistant?
Yeah.
It's Barney who writes down their names.
Yeah, that's Barney's job, and she's yeah. Yeah.
I think it was Kelly though. Yeah, Kelly.
Got girls' name.
He introduces Theodora to. I wanted to put South African Liam Neeson for this because he did not sound Australian to me.
I thought he was Australian. I may be wrong.
He is Australian.
Oh right,
he is
you were right on that.
But I didn't pick up on his Australianness
It's a
until the end.
50-50 chance, isn't it?
Yeah. I get confused easy. Yeah, not New Zealand though, because they're much quieter than Australians and South Africans.
Yeah, they say "How's the car?" as they say "How's the car?" Never mind.
I know what that's from.
Okay, and he's like, "I've got a special Christmas mission for you, Theodora."
Because you're not doing anything at Christmas.
Because I know you're not doing now.
Yeah.
Because you're just a businesswoman, aren't you? You do business.
Your
Escrow. Yeah, there's a lot of weird feet in this as well. I want you. I want you to go to what was it? Little Richard's town. Wee Richards in. Did they say Ohio?
Yes.
Ohio, yeah.
Says it in a really weird way as well. Ohio.
Ohio. And speak to some man or something. Or do some business while you're there.
You're the only person I can trust to
There's this
get
account.
this done.
Yeah, he does that to death, doesn't he? That bit. I feel like he was given a brief on this, that actor, and he just didn't understand what the film was.
I don't think anyone had a
Cutthroat
brief
business
in this. It feels like everyone was acting in different films.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like in is it what's it called? Keith Richards' autobiography. If you get the audiobook version, it's different people reading out chapters of it, and some people just read it in their voice. And there's one lad who tries to do it in Keith Richards' voice, and it's tremendous. Would recommend. And then me and Keith went to the shops, and it's just brilliant.
Because Keith Richards talks about himself in the third person.
He does. No, he's talking about Keith Harris and
Oh,
Orville.
right, okay.
They were going to the shops to buy plaster of Paris to make a nativity for Cilla Black. I don't fucking know. So she's like, right, I'll go. She goes and speaks to Kelly, and he's like, you're on this plane. We've booked you in overnight. And I think he's supposed to be like the
handler.
general assistant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
this
so.
was the first red flag for me because it kind of like zooms out and they're just both stood there.
This
rather
huge
than, like,
open building.
conversational. Yeah.
Abandoned office.
I think
like,
it's to
you
show
know,
off a
no
red boot.
furniture and yeah.
Listen, David Duchovny would have been proud of them red shoes.
Yeah, and then a man checks her out as she leaves a lift as well for no reason.
Oh, yeah, I noticed that. And he was just like, And I was like, all right, pervy
It's not
Kenneth.
relevant.
He won
Turns up again.
a part in the film online.
Oh, hang on, is he his mate? His pervy mate who turns up later?
Oh, the Bourbon boy.
Yeah, I think
It
it might
could
be him.
be. But he must know that that's his daughter, and that's not right.
He doesn't care because he's Bourbon Man.
He's Bourbon Man. You got Bourbon
Yeah.
Man and Frau Farbishner later on, haven't you? Like,
Yeah.
And so she flies off to this thing. You've got to leave now because your flight's in 2 hours. Jesus, do you? Like, how far away is the airport? It's an internal flight. It's not
Ohio.
yeah.
There's it cuts to a man sobbing alone in a church, very, very grief-stricken. He's not in the mood for love, surely.
Listen,
He's just
This guy?
it's magical. Don't say that word. Well, you see, the thing is, because I was like, oh, right, he's crying, someone's dead, or he's just very sad in a
He's
church.
doing proper grief acting, yeah.
He's, well, non-union Adam Driver.
Yeah,
Or,
I'll
you
take
see
that.
picture of the cat that looks like human? He looks a bit like him as well. I'll find a picture. But yeah, he's all right in this, but he's a bit mopey all the way through it. And I
Yes.
get it, because
Ah,
like someone's died, but also it's Christmas. Cheer up.
his mum
Get over it.
died.
Well, this was the thing I didn't understand. Like the priest or someone comes over and goes, "Come on, cheer up, get out."
And there's no one else there, but then they goes back to his house and there's like a full room of like in the wake.
Going through her stuff, weren't they?
Yeah, well, looking for that cookie recipe, I think.
Yeah,
All that they
everyone
cared
was-
about.
nuts about this.
Right,
yeah.
but I thought this was quite a nice touch. When he walked into the house, it sort of pans round into black and white, and then it showed a lady and a small boy in black
Yeah.
and white, like baking and stuff, and then panned back to colour, and it was him. And I thought, oh, his wife and kids died.
I thought the same
Hmm,
thing.
right?
Yeah, his wife and kids
Because
died.
for so long, everyone was like, oh, well, she was a lovely woman and all this stuff. And I'm like, okay, no one's mentioned his kid. Was his kid a shit or
I
something?
know, yeah.
Because then I was like, Christmas collision? Has there been a car crash?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would have. Yeah, I was wondering where Christmas Collision came into it. Never found a single collision throughout the whole
It goes
thing.
by many names, this film, as they all do. It's also called The Unintentional Christmas.
Yeah,
Yeah.
The Christmas that
Which-
surprises you around the back of the fridges.
Which would have been a more fitting name.
A
yeah.
Christmas collision sounds good, but yeah. But no, as it turns
It is.
out,
It's fatal deviation again. isn't it?
It's fatal deviation, Christmas collision. As it turns out, this was his mum, and he was like remembering as a child that was like, because it took me a while because
Yeah.
I thought everyone's been a bit harsh on him. Like if his missus has just died and his son, but no,
And everyone's like, cheer up. Get on
yeah,
with it.
you know, she's in a
What
better place.
is it that everybody remembers about his mum?
Her biscuits,
Just
her
a-
fiery biscuits.
One man says, not sure I can ever appreciate a cookie ever again.
Well, not all that charity work she done. No, not like
Yeah.
not when she nursed that injured swan back to health. No, the fucking biscuits.
The one thing that everyone can, the couple of things that people can rally around about his mum was that she made the best cookies in the world and she was very solvent. Those are the two main features. Can't remember a single personal detail about her beyond those two facts.
That was her favourite photograph of him as well. Fake
yeah.
Father Christmas remembers that later, which is an odd thing to bring up, isn't it?
Mm.
If I went round my mum's house and I'd be like, which one's your photograph? I wouldn't know. But apparently she told everyone that came in. Everyone. That photo, her favourite one. Okay, didn't ask for that. Dead Margaret, or whatever she was called. She didn't even get a name, did she?
Dead Mark.
It says Felicity on like a wall art thing, so I'm guessing that.
She's not listed in the cast listing.
And then the most promising bit about this film is that it pans to the cupboard next to the stairs where there's a dastardly couple.
Oh yeah.
The dastardly couple being the bank manager and her son, who is my favourite in all of this.
Oh, the lady that looks like she stinks of piss.
I might finally win the cookie competition this year.
And
Yeah,
then
but she's
they
dead.
laugh cravenly.
But I was like, do it outside, not in his Harry Potter hidey hole.
Do we think that she killed her to win
That's
the
what I
competition?
was thinking. She was like, now is my time to shine. She hit her
That
with
was
the
the
semi.
commission.
That's what I thought. She was drunk driving down the thing. But yeah, I didn't realize that was her son either. I just thought it was a random.
I don't know.
I'm
assistant.
guessing.
It makes
so.
sense, yeah. But she's obsessed with winning this biscuit competition, despite
Oh yeah.
Right,
her
everybody
biscuits
is.
being terrible.
Because
Apparently,
there's people there like, oh, totally different competition now. Already thinking ahead to the cookie competition. And
It's a
then
big
one man
thing.
said he used to check his cookies twice just to make sure they weren't pure magic. I'm like, what? What are you talking about?
you know what she says? Like it's a tablespoon of vinegar later on. I think it was like LSD. I
Yeah.
think she was fucking
Yeah.
dosing the town up and then winning that 10 grand every year. She could afford to pay that. See, that's what makes no sense, right?
I know.
Because at this funeral, they're all sort of milling about, and he's like, "Can you get out of my fucking house, please?" Like, especially you people under the stairs guffawing. And there's a knock at the door. Theodora comes in and is quite abrupt and quite
Yeah.
rude. And she's like, "I need to have a word with you." And he goes, "Okay." And then he goes, "Well, no, because like my mum's just died and we've just buried her."
I think they say she's passed. And she's like, passed where? You know, it's
Oh
just
no, what
doesn't
time
look-
will she be back? And they do the whole, and then they're like, "No, she's in the ground, mate." Oh, okay. And I'll come back in 2 hours. Then she's like, apparently she's just waited on the porch for 2 hours. It looked
I
like.
know. Oh, your
It's like
mum's
the
died.
Skyrim, like fast.
Stood there smoking furiously for 2 hours. And she's like, right, we're repossessing your house and farm and land and stuff. And he goes, why? What? And he goes, oh, your mum's not been paying stuff. We called in all these loans and all these debt repayments and stuff. And he's like, we've had no letters in any of this. What in the dickens is going on? He says. He doesn't say that. I'm agog. Yeah. And she goes, look, right, I'm going to give you till tomorrow to sort this out. I'm going to go to my B&B place now and have a conversation about pie that's a bit too sexual. But I'll be back here first thing in the morning, so you better sort it out. And he goes, this is just what I need. On the day of my mum's funeral. Bummer.
And then he thrashes around.
He like thrashes around and then he goes to himself, well, she's a lot of fun.
That was the weird bit. That's what reminded me of the Adam Driver punching the wall meme.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
The other thing I liked about this was when people are exiting his house, one woman just says, butterscotch pie. And he says, butterscotch, yeah.
That's their call and response. You know, like, oggy, oggy, oggy.
Pie.
Yeah. She's obsessed with pie, that lady, though.
Yes.
She's
Mrs.
like
Claus.
obsessed with pie. Fake Santa's obsessed with pie.
I think everyone's just tripping balls in this town. All the baked goods have just got fucking hallucinogenics sewn into them.
Well, the man who jogs later, when he says goodbye to
Michael.
him, they have like a weird like hand signal to each other all the time. Have you seen that?
Yeah, they used to be best bros
They've
before.
got like their handshake and they go, yeah, all right, see you later.
Yeah.
Wiggle,
See you later,
wiggle, wiggle.
dude. Yeah. Michael's a rapist in waiting, isn't he?
He is. Oh, I'm just friends.
Yeah, later on that bit,
He's
I
got
was
a
like,
neck tattoo. I mean, that is one thing that marks it out from Hallmark. I've got no problem with it, obviously, but I don't think they would have that in a Hallmark film.
no, because Adam Driver had tattoos as well,
Yeah.
didn't he, on his arms?
All
yeah.
along his arm. Yeah.
Um,
We cut now to dark business dealings over bourbon.
Yes, we are introduced to pervy lift man, possibly ? And Australian boss,
Yeah.
and they're doing lots of talk about bourbon.
And then about Melissa as well. So Theodora's assistant. Because there's this weird side plot that never goes much further about that man wanting to pork her.
I didn't pick up on that at all.
Only on the second playthrough, because I
Oh.
think it was just completely lost on me the first time round.
Right,
Yeah, he's like, he says something like, Theodora won't let you anywhere near Melissa. And he's like,
quite justifiably as well. He's about 70 years old.
no.
Yeah, but they appear to be in some sort of cahoots about the Theodora, where they've sent Theodora. There's something untoward going on with it, and we don't know
Yeah.
what it is. But then they just talk about getting like 4 more bottles of bourbon each and getting pissed, which I can admire. That's something I can get behind.
That's how
I
you
missed
do
I
business.
missed all the Melissa porking nonsense.
Yeah.
Thank God for that. Would have made
But
me
it
even
kind
more
of ties
uncomfortable.
into the fact that he got out of the lift and like eyed her up earlier, I guess.
Ah, okay.
But it doesn't go much further than that, so it doesn't matter. Meanwhile, Charles is going through his mum's records and just going, she would never.
No.
Trying to get to
To
grips
himself.
with the debt.
Yeah. She won 10 grand every year making biscuits. It's like this farm's paid
Yeah.
off.
That's how much is riding on this competition. 10 grand. That's like nailed it money.
That is nailed it money, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a silly amount of money for a town that is a
Populated by
main
6
main
people.
street. Yeah. And the worst mayor ever.
Oh, mate, jazz hat. Oh, I love
mate,
that guy.
Jazz hat.
fucking. Ah,
No.
mate. No. Local
Um,
improv expert, fucking Timmy Jazz Hat.
Charles's brother Michael is a keen jogger, as we notice on 2 occasions.
Oh, is it
And-
his brother?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Jogs into the Front
Who's
Street
his
Cafe.
brother?
No,
Who's
they've got very different surnames on IMDb. I think
I
they
don't know.
they were buddies.
All right, well, they're
That's
brothers in
strange.
arms then. How about that? Anyway,
Bros.
he runs into Front Street Cafe, which is the cafe with the papyrus font signage at the front,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
I quite liked. And he meets Theodora, who's like doing business laptop stuff at the corner, and she just couldn't give a shit about him.
No, I mean, understandable.
shuts
Women
him
can
down.
sense when you're a creep, I think.
Yeah.
I know, but then he's got such a good opinion of her later. Like it just doesn't.
She didn't immediately hit me with bear mace. Yeah.
Yeah.
because
But
there's
it's
a
like the
suggestion that
writing
he
is
did that
so
in the
bad.
past.
Because so he runs past with his mate, and then he goes, he spots her in there and goes, I'm going to get a coffee. And the mate's like, you'll be up all night. And then he goes in, orders a coffee, and she goes, can I have another coffee? And he immediately goes, you'll be up all night. He was
I've
like,
just heard this. a
He's
fact
just
about
nicking
coffee.
material off. He was thinking, here's me.
And she says that she's only here for one night, so she's not bothered.
Yeah.
Well, no, yeah.
I
Just
don't
here
wanna
to
get to know
foreclose on your mate's farm. Alright, so you don't fancy a quick bunk up though? No, I'm alright, thanks. I'll jog on, quite literally, with my ethnically diverse friend.
It's dawn, and she turns up. Charles has woken up having made a nest out of the paperwork.
He
which is,
slept in his
stuck to
mum's
face.
paperwork, which was adorable. That's how Norman Bates started.
She goes on again about a loan not being paid.
And he goes like, I know what those words mean. And I was like, oh.
I know.
He says that she wouldn't let that happen because she loved this place, which is a very troubling view on debt, as though people who get into debt don't love what they do enough.
Yeah,
I thought it was a bit
I fucking
bullshit.
hate my credit card, so I punish it by putting things on it. Yeah, that's-
And then what happens next?
She
God.
falls and her heel breaks
Oh.
in her head.
Right, I wondered what happened here, because
Yeah.
did we actually see her ankle go?
No.
No.
Because all she does
Hear
is
it.
go like, I'm going to leave now, stomp, stomp, stomp. And then you just, ah! And this almighty clap. And I thought, has he set a bear trap for her? Or, like, is it a Silence of the Lambs situation? It's like, put the foreclosure in the basket. Or, it's, yeah. No, she's just fallen off her stupidly high heels, to be fair, for walking
Yeah.
around a farming.
Well, they've broken off, so the heel's actually broken on her shoe, and then it's like sprained her ankle. And then so he gets her back on the sofa and rings the doctor, and the doctor says she must now live in your house. That's the,
You must feed her tomato soup and give her all your clothes, including underpants.
you know that planes can't hold people who've got sore ankles. That's just not allowed. So she must
The
live
thing
there
is,
now.
right, he goes to pick her up and she screams him, "Get off me!" Like that. She's just like, he's trying to help, and she's just like, everyone's a molester in Ohio. He's trying to help. He goes, he felt, it's a bad sprain, but you won't be going anywhere for a while. And I was like, it's a sprain. Like, walk it
know.
off, get a taxi.
Yeah. Could have easily got on a taxi.
I have to sit on this couch now and have you wait on me hand and foot while I criticise and despise you as well. It's like upstairs, downstairs, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he goes and gets some frozen peas to put on her ankle to reduce the swelling.
And then we get establishing shots of New Richmond, home to a lake, a telegraph pole, the Front Street Cafe with its papyrus font banner, and Michael running towards Charles, calling him a Don Juan, while he jogs on the spot, talking to him.
You got to keep your cardio up, haven't you?
Yeah.
They all
And he
think
says,
that this is standard Ohio dating procedure: is break the woman's ankle so she can't leave, and then
He's like, well, she wants to take the farm, and then he's like, what do you mean take? So what do you think he means by take?
on holiday. Also, what kind of farmer is he? Because we don't see any aminals or crops or anything.
He goes and collects some twigs at some point.
It's a
twig farm. He paints them white and puts them in posh ladies' houses in a vase.
Decorative twigs.
Yeah.
You know.
That old racket.
It's no bracken. Wow. He comes in, he goes like, right, I've brought you some clothes because you only brought one bag because you're a fucking idiot. Always overpack. And he gives her all the flannel and stuff, and she's like, oh, does that come with a free moose? And I'd be like, fine, fucking sit there and stink. See if I care. Like, get out of I could kick you out of the house, really. Like,
I just don't understand it, because as it goes on, she's clearly able to walk around, and yet she continues to live at her house.
He says to the doctor, he says, do I need to get crutches? And she goes, no crutches! Like, are you frightened of crutches? Did crutches kill your father? No, I think it was all a ruse all along, because she really fancied Adam.
Sexy ruse.
Adam's like, all right, well, you sit on the couch and be a miserable fucking Parker face bastard.
Yeah, but I'm gonna put up Christmas decorations.
I'm gonna put up Christmas decorations around you, which is not weird in the slightest.
But she doesn't understand Christmas.
Why tree in house?
Because she's like,
a fire hazard.
That's what she says.
You have to take them back down. Does she really say that they're a fire hazard?
She says the Christmas tree is a fire hazard. Yeah. I was like, he's not putting candles on it like the little match girl. It's fine.
He even turns a page of her book for her, which I thought was just a bit odd.
Oh, I thought he was shutting the book more into Christmas. I get. You're probably right. You watched it twice.
I think he just turned the page for her. Like, she couldn't do it.
No, that's not right. Have she go in the bathroom and stuff? No.
Bit weird, that. And then they argue about an ornament that she says isn't a Christmas ornament, and then he shakes it in front of her face.
There's no glitter, there's no ribbon, it's not a Christmas ornament. And I was like, mate, I've got a Mexican Santa riding a piñata. Like, that's not Christmassy, but...
And then his proof is that it says Christmas 1989 or something on it, which...
Yep, it does. So that's proof enough. If you just write Christmas and a year on anything, it's an ornament.
The Christmas ornament, yeah.
Oh,
it's a plainer thing.
Yeah.
She's not wrong, but I also agree that you can just if you put a bit of string on it and hang it on a Christmas tree, it's a Christmas
It's an ornament. Kids make all kinds of shite, don't they? You've got to hang it off a Christmas tree.
Also, she's there, recuperating in his house, fucking telling him how to do Christmas.
I'd have been like, you know what?
Listen, lady.
We're gonna go full misery. I'm gonna break the other fucking ankle with a sledgehammer and a hobbling post.
And then there's a confusing sequence of events at this point. There's a caroling scene where the cookie competition complex is, and Mayor Jazz Hat interrupts the carolers clapping, and then he gets interrupted by Michael clapping, and then just interfering with the decoration design. And then Mayor Jazz Hat fobs him off, and then starts suggesting that the choir pelt the audience with candy.
Yep. Same as last year, then. Mayor Jazz Hat's a free thinker. Like, I think everyone in this town gets to be mayor for a year, and it's his turn.
I think they were just like, do a bit at this point, because we've got no dialogue for you.
It had big improv energy
did.
Everyone yes-anding each other.
What do you want us to do? And he was like, sing, and then and also
we'll put
candy.
garlands over the door and mistletoe over nya and more lights over nya. And I was like, what is this? Why is this in my film?
But there's also, I think it was before this, or it might be shortly after, where there's just a girl talking to that man who's may or may not be Santa, going, I like broccoli, it's my favourite vegetable.
I'd forgot about that because I'm fairly sure he calls her Miss Mayor. And I was like, if she's the mayor of this town, no wonder it's in the situation that it's in.
Yeah, because then I was like, are you the mayor? I was really confessed about
No, you the mayor.
Yeah.
And whoever
I-
likes
Mayor-
broccoli the most can
Mayor
be
Chaff,
mayor.
at the annual summer broccoli eating contest. The opposite
the
of
owner
the
of
cookie contest.
The owner of that cafe says, well, if you keep eating my pie, then you're going to look like Santa. And I thought, there's a good joke in there somewhere.
There was so much of it because again he goes on about having a hot slice of pie later, and you're going, "There's a child's bike outside." It's very strange.
The broccoli thing isn't even like a joke. He goes, "Do you know what that makes you? Someone who likes broccoli." That's
I was
it.
expecting a
Take that,
pun.
child.
Yeah. She's like, "That's shit, mate." I hope
That's
you're
shit,
not
I'm
Santa.
gonna go.
Yeah.
Why am
Gotta
I
go
forced
work
to
down
talk
the
to you?
mine.
Meanwhile, Theodora sees Charles without his top on.
She just barges right in there, doesn't she?
She falls
Yeah.
through on her crutches, I think, is what she's like.
First time on
absolutely fine.
crutches. Yeah.
Mm.
She didn't just slide in there after seeing him. No. Gross.
And then she's like, "You've missed a button."
He always has the top two undone, and then he's like, "Shall I just do 3?" And then if you're going to do 3, you may as well do 4, aren't you?
Yeah.
What's that from?
Peep show.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Then we've got the two of them talking about the missing cookie recipe. He is
She's like-
on this about. Well, he keeps getting pressure. You see, from Santa, from Michael, from everyone. They're like, "Are you joining this cookie competition?
Gotta fucking do it, mate.
You've got to
Otherwise
get your papers right for a start, because
ghost
that's
mum.
taken so seriously in this town."
Your ghost mum is gonna be furious, right? She's gonna be rattling all the pots and pans all night. It'll be a nightmare. You'll die.
And then Theodora's like, "Well, didn't your mum leave you like a box? You know, like they
Like
do." in
all women in America do. You have all your recipes on little index cards, don't you? And you keep them in a special box to hand down to the next generation.
Yeah.
Maybe
But yes,
America.
she's handed over a
did.
codex of recipes. But
Including sweet potato casserole, which sounds like the most gross thing I can imagine.
I know. And then
yeah.
she goes, "Is that a nice recipe?" And she goes, "Mom was a cookie baker."
And that's
Like,
all
we
she'll
don't care
ever
about
be.
recipes.
That's all we ate. I
Uh,
lost 3 brothers and sisters to malnutrition.
He just says, "Oh, now you're going to make me hungry," but he says it with like such bitterness.
Yeah.
In this incredibly bare room that looks very underfurnished.
His mum was a big Marie Kondo convert. Yeah, it
She
doesn't
didn't have
bring you
time to
joy.
decorate. She had biscuits to make.
Yeah, although he must have all these decorations, so I don't know. It's one of those weird things that.
Mm.
They ran out of budget at that point. That really-
Yeah,
Well, luckily, Michael's turned up with beer, and things all of a sudden get very tense.
it gets very weird at this point because he
I found it
shows
very
up
hard to follow.
and he's like, "Oh, I brought you some beer. You should have to pop round." And he's like,
Oh,
"Okay."
and you know, if you want your leg taken a look at, you know, I'm a physio.
That was the bit because like he comes in and he's like, "Oh, a woman."
a lady.
We don't get them round here.
But then he stands with his hand. I felt on
Yeah.
the back of her neck. It looked like
Yeah.
it could have been on the chair,
It's a move, isn't it?
but it looked like a very standing over her sort of thing. And he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, if you want someone to look at your legs, what time do they open?"
Yeah.
That sort of thing, innit? Like,
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I'm gonna go to bed," and he's like,
and
"Do you
lock
want
the
some
doors
ham?"
and sleep with a knife. Yeah.
Well, she says that, you know, thanks for the beer, which she didn't take a sip of. So
I wouldn't either.
nah, I wouldn't either.
And then they have this like, "Oh, so are we doing this?" argument about
Yeah, because I texted you at this bit. I was like,
why is it a Scandinavian
this
drama?
bleak Scandi drama full of menace and grief.
Yeah.
Is it so? And it looks so dark as well. That's the thing. You know, it doesn't look like a Christmas film. I was like,
They're sat at opposite ends of this table, and he's like, "Oh,
You
you're
should
doing
have
it again?
known."
Yeah, you're doing it again. Oh, Michael, it's always about you, isn't it?" And he's like, and I was like, "What's happened? She's still within earshot." Like,
and then they have this weird thing. I wrote down the dialogue here, and I can't make sense of it because Michael tries to sort of like change the conversation by saying, "Well, what did your mum hum while she baked cookies?" And then Charles goes, "She could hardly bake them fast enough to keep up with us." And then he says, "Oh, was it Frosty the Snowman?" Frosty, you never listen.
was it? How was it? What did he mishear Frosty the Snowman
I
as?
don't know.
Frostum the Snowman. And he's like, you don't listen, Michael. That's your problem. And I was like, he might
You
have,
never
like,
listen.
I mean, he might have got one of those, like, you know, you get those bad copy DVDs where it's like all cover versions of proper stuff. And he might have had a Frostum the Snowman, non-denominational Christmas. But yeah, and then he's like, this was the same. You should have said something to her all those years ago and you didn't. And I was like, where's all this come from?
You left because of a misunderstanding between us.
Yes, he made a move on another woman that Charles was seeing, I think.
No, Charles had never told her how he felt.
Yeah, that's the misunderstanding.
And he was like, I was just being friendly. I was just giving her the Michael experience or something. I was like, nobody wants the Michael experience. I can guarantee you that, pal. It just ramped up and then he's never mentioned again.
No.
Like, do some evocative drama. Okay, Oscar flashing at the bottom like that. It's yeah. But at the end of it, they're like, well, okay, I guess we're bros again now.
Okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Yeah, right.
Well, at least he's got a few
no, you're not
days
using my upstairs toilet because I know where you're creeping off to, Michael. Yeah.
The next day, Charles reckons he's going to do some baking, so he puts on his best denim shirt for the occasion that looks all faded, like it's got flour chucked all over it.
That's his mum's apron.
Oh no, he's got his mum's apron on as well, but he's got his denim shirt with the top 2 buttons undone.
He doesn't own top 2 buttons. He cuts them all off.
He's got a hairnet underneath all of that. So.
Can't take the risk.
He's trying to figure out the cookie recipe and he's struggling. And
Flour? Wah!
He queries his mum's loan with this other bank that the Craven lady who's trying to beat him at the competition.
Yeah, the P lady. Yes, because Theodora goes to visit because she's like, hang on, something's not right here. She was winning all these biscuit competitions. They must have been living like kings of Ohio. But she goes to the bank and P lady's like, oh, I can't get access to the files because our systems are down. And I was like,
look at the 3 monitors behind me. They're all blank.
You haven't got the internet here. Shut up. Like, it would all be on the. And she's like, oh, and she's like, okay, well, Theodora says, like, what is it? You better email me straight away or else.
Send me the files.
Yeah, business moves out, isn't she? She's like,
yeah, she's doing big bullying.
Yeah.
And then P lady says, oh, take a biscuit on your way out because I've made them this year and I'm going to win. Now that slag's dead. She infers. And she goes, all right, cheers, I'll take one of these. And then, I think it must be her son, comes in and he's like, oh, if you want a taste tester, I'll do it. And then, this goes on for like 3 minutes of him just mugging to the camera while he eats this cookie.
Does he like it or does he not like it?
Liquid shit on his face. Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. It's supposed to be bad, isn't it? So how she thinks she's going to win when, like, even her daft as a brush son won't eat the biscuits and he eats candles. Like, you know, I didn't get it, but he does. It's such a long sequence of him just going to the camera like the fucking elephant man. And then he goes, they're lovely. Sorry. Can I have a glass of milk? And then, like, whap, whap. And that's the end of that bit. And I was like, oh.
Mayor Jazz Hat, meanwhile, he's faffing around with some lights in his hand. He does like a tangled light thing. And he's jabbering about the Xmas decor. And then he pressures Santa, who's just stood there, into pressuring Charles even more about entering the competition. Nobody does the job properly because he's still not signed up to it. Which becomes a major plot feature.
Does that mean that the P lady would win instantly because there's only 2 people in the fucking contest?
Nobody else mentions it, do they?
No one else is there in it.
The other lady can only make pies.
This Santa, is he or isn't he Santa? Because it's like, he goes, it's good enough for St. Nick, and he goes, hello, again.
Oh, I missed that. All right.
Yeah.
So
I think we're just looking for that after Christmas Under Wraps. I think we're just looking for a secret Santa everywhere now.
Like no, I think they are trying to make him Santa.
Oh, I hope not.
There's a little less sort of give and take in this one, isn't there?
There's another scene where he appears from nowhere, and then yeah, I think they are trying to make it again super subtle for no real reason.
They're going to put the raffle tables over there. This is where the cookie competition will be. Two things in this town fair: a raffle and a biscuit competition. Fuck it.
And then he meets him at home, so he goes straight from there to Charles, visits him in his home. To needle him about Theodora, who he says that he's getting along well with. The enemy's staying right here, sort of thing, but she's easy on the eyes. Oh, by the way, about that cookie recipe. And it's so seamlessly done. And then he notices his mum's favourite photo of him, which, again, like you mentioned, it's just weird thing to...
Odd thing to mention to anyone ever, isn't it?
Mm.
What's your favourite
But I
spoon in the drawer, James?
I think that's his Santa magic again. Like, look at
Shut
that
up!
photo. It is. It's like, look at that photo because that's where the recipe is, isn't it?
You did say when we were watching this, you were like, I bet the recipe's behind that photo.
Yeah, I did.
Of course it was.
Do we know how his mum died? Because I think she might have just gone mad one day and started stuffing recipes up places.
Yeah, and there's no real reason why it should be hidden. I thought that people were going to come after it. Like that woman was going to steal it.
Yeah.
Well, literally, I thought she was holding on to, like, she'd froze the account so that he'd get evicted and not enter the cookie. And I was like, it's a lot of machinations for a fucking competition, this,
Well, it's
isn't it?
£10,000.
It turns out a system was just down for about 5 days.
No one else in that time has got any loans, have they? Like, it's fine. No one else has gone in that bank at any point to deposit money or withdraw money. They just have to do it on an honour system.
She just sits there in that room full of monitors with no screen on.
There's not even a
9 to
computer
5.
attached to their monitors.
No, there wasn't. It's not even as though they could do anything offline either. It's just dead.
No! That's it. So, computer says no, literally.
He's
He
just
then
sitting in
sees
that
her.
office with nothing to do.
He sees her. Charles sees this bank manager in the street and says that he can't access the account. And then she mentions that the cookie competition is worth 10 grand. And then follows that up with, oh, but you need a lawyer to access the account anyway. So there's a lot of like joining together of two
Very disparate
topics.
things, yeah. Yeah, you need power of attorney. And I was like, would you? Because if his mum's dead, then it would all fall to him anyway, so he wouldn't need power of attorney. Unless his mum was not right, which if she was stuffing recipes up places, he might have had to get a power of attorney. Because, so, again, this other
But
dark
still, she was
mental
dead.
health subplot.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
But yeah, she's just like, I can't do anything about that. Anyway, biscuits, though, I don't give a fuck about biscuits. I don't want to lose my house, if that's all right, piss lady.
So then he bumps into Theodora again, who's absolutely fine walking around town driving a car, but can't get on a plane.
She's got a
And
crutch.
can't leave. She's
Yeah,
got
what are
one
you doing?
crutch.
Go home.
Go home. No,
But
but
she's
she
got a
knows.
problem with that.
She knows something's going on, and she does.
Yeah.
She's like, I might be a cold hard escrow. I need wine.
Escrow lawyer, yeah.
Escrow lady. I can't stop drinking wine. Every time I see a bald boy, I get sad. And she's like, I'm going to put a stop to this because I think something's not right here. And she's just like, she quite likes Kylo Ren. And she's like, right, we're going to put a stop. We're going to find out what's going on before I go home. Plus, I need to know who wins this fucking biscuit competition because, like, it's the talk of the town. And he's like, oh, do you want to go and get lunch? My treat. And she's like, oh, where shall we go? A lovely French bistro, maybe? And he's like,
The
the
only cafe
one
in
place
town."
in town we can go.
Papyrus Font Cafe.
Yes. Hot Pie Cafe. They're famous for their meatloaf and pies.
Yeah.
That's what he says, and they go in. And, she's like, it reminds me of my grandparents' place. Oh, did they have a cafe? No, they were bakers. Okay. Man.
I wasn't very good at baking. Well, no, because you were a child, so I was.
But they let me
Taste
eat all the
tester.
pies. That's what grandparents do, mate. Like,
Yeah. And she says that her dad since then has changed. She can only imagine him in an oversized, non-iron shirt.
Yelling at me.
one of those hats, all the corks dangling off it, playing knifey spoony. Yeah. But I thought that was going to be the twist later on, was that like he'd foreclosed on the grandparents' bakery or something, like proper Scrooge sort of thing. No, just their grandparents just died of, I don't know, pie overdose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that the pie lady goes over and says, "Oh,
I
you
want to say
do it."
Belinda.
I've never got a name.
Yeah, she comes over and she's like,
Cool.
"Oh, what star sign are you?" And I'd be like, "Oh, fuck, I'm gonna get takeaway. I ain't dealing with this shit."
No, but she goes, "Oh, I'm a Leo," and he goes, "Oh, you're a Leo, and he's a Sag." I was like, "No one's called it Sagittarius Sag before." No one's
You can't say
called it.
Sag because it sounds a bit
I know it does.
saggy. Yeah, and then she's like, "Oh, I'll have the meatloaf and like a walnut and cranberry pie," which sounds awful.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh, I've known him for ages, so I'll just get him what I think he wants." And I'm like,
Yeah,
"That's
because he does order something and she's like totally disregards it. So
Yeah.
No,
You get
he wants
what
a
you're
pecan
given.
thing, which sounds decent actually. Yeah, you die, but yeah.
But yeah, and then she comes back out with these meatloafs and was like, "Would you want some extra gravy?" "No, that looks perfect just the way it is." It's fucking meatloaf, mate. It's a big
Yeah.
slab of meat, isn't it? Mincemeat, all slabbed up. I don't...
Yeah,
She's
she
like,
said that I've not
tasted
eaten
it yet. Oh, God.
Okay, no, you said.
Oh, well, you've actually written it down. You go.
She says, I've not even tasted it yet, but I can tell this is the best meatloaf that I've ever had. And he goes, oh, just you wait. I wouldn't eat anything in this.
It'd be better if Mark Addy Meatloaf had come round the corner and go, I'm the best meatloaf with his little feet. Yeah.
It wouldn't have surprised me in this film.
It would have surprised me because it would have been
Well,
good.
2021.
Oh, yeah, he
Yeah.
was well dead by then.
Well dead by then, yeah.
They could have got that Meatloaf lookalike guy, whoever he was called.
It's stunt double.
No, the guy that still does Meatloaf. At like the fair and stuff. Oh, I can't remember. He did it on Stars in Their Eyes. It's not important. But yeah, they eat this thing, and then she's like, "Oh, old Mary's paid for your pies, and I got the ice cream." And I'm like, "This town is chaos."
And then
She
it's
gets
got, like, a
introduced and goes,
close-up.
"Ooh," and like, who are you?
She's just happy that the biscuit festival's coming soon, and she always buys people pies around this
On the
time.
house as well. She said she's done it to everybody in this room. She's got their
She's
own
been sitting
pies.
there all day, just handing out slices of
You
pie.
get a pie. You get a pie.
You could help me pay for my house. No, pies. I only work in currency of pastry. Maddening, what it is. So, do they go home and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to make food," and she's like,
She
"I'm
gets
going to go and
confused
buy
about-
all the fucking cheese."
I think she says, "I'll see you at home," and she goes,
Yeah.
I mean, your house.
Your house. And she does that a lot, and I'd be like,
Yeah.
"You say that though, don't you? Like, it's not your home, but it's
Yeah.
home area."
Yeah, you kind of get and then it cuts back to the baddies who are.
Oh yeah, the cutthroat business world.
The woman.
Oh, great! The
It's
big
introduced
one
to the-
from. I was gonna say the big one from the chase is here now.
Oh yeah,
She's like-
she's there like she literally says something like, "I've cancelled my important schedule for this, and you're not." You're not delivering.
For something my maid could have done, is what she says.
Yeah. So it appears there's like like how secret cabals work. Like the fewer members, the better. There's like 9 of them at this point.
And they're all saying things like, it's cut and dry. I took the hit on this.
Yeah,
Focus on
I-
the business in hand. I got no patience left for this.
Mr. T placed them all.
Yeah.
But what is the plan? Was it just to buy the land?
It
I
doesn't
guess so.
ever say why it's so profitable that they've all cancelled everything
is
and
they-
bought.
Yeah, is there like oil underneath it or
Yeah.
pirate treasure?
They never even say they're going to build like condos.
Condos is normally or a strip mall, isn't it? Yeah, that's what. But no, they're just like we're just evil for the sake of being evil.
There's so many twigs to harvest there. That's why.
Yeah.
It's the best twigs in Britain, in America. Sorry, will be fortunes. Yeah, I never understood what the because they're clearly trying to like defraud him out of the house, aren't they?
Yeah.
But for no reason, not for any like local bad guy tries to take over the youth club to stop them breakdancing, stuff like that. None of that.
Yeah.
They're just evil for the sake of being evil,
Yeah.
like all business people. Am I right? Yeah.
Yeah. Capitalism.
Yeah. Not in Little Richard, Ohio, where pies are handed out and sweets are thrown at passing pedestrians, whether they like it or not.
Theodora has come back home, not to her home, but somebody else's home, with Monterey Jack and Gruyere cheese, I think.
Yep.
2 types of cheese
Oh.
and some sourdough for grilled cheese with
Tomato soup.
and basil soup. As
Yes.
well. Yeah.
And a
And-
big
oh,
old
she's got
bottle
some
of red wine.
Yeah,
Do you drink
fair enough.
wine? Yeah, of course he fucking does.
Alone. Yeah.
In the bath,
With his cookies, crying over his cookies.
dipping them in the matey. Is this the secret ingredient?
There's a very troubling scene where he does the toast.
Oh, mate, he spends about 5 hours making that fucking cheese
Flipping it on
toast.
the. I thought he was going to get a skillet out, and do it like that, but no, it's just in a regular frying pan, like flipping it and everything. It's weird.
I literally made
Moves it around.
tuna melts for my tea today, and I got the skillet out and did it. in
Yeah,
the
of course you
proper
do.
pan.
Got to do it proper.
Yeah, it goes off nice and crunchy. Otherwise,
Yeah.
but
He
she
has
comes
got
down-
nice blue stainless glasses though. I did like those.
Well, they're his mum's technically.
Yeah.
The one she didn't throw at the pigeons.
She didn't hide a recipe in.
for trying to steal her thoughts. She comes down. She's had a wash, I think, and she comes down in like clothes, and he's like, "Oh, they look nice." I'm like, "The clothes." Like, it's not
his
like
mum's
she's.
clothes, is it?
It's not like she's. Oh, that'd have been weird, wouldn't it? You smell like my mum.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Smell
not like
like
she's come down
cooking.
in. It's not like she's come down in like like fancy dinner clothes. She's just like
No.
what I get changed into when I come home from work. Like,
Yeah.
and she's like,
But
that
she's-
soup smells
she's doing-
amazing.
She's doing that classic Hallmark woman thing of like when she was in a business suit, she had her hair all tied up in a really tight bun, show that she's really uptight. And as the show goes on, she's like half up, half down, and then in
Yeah,
a
you
plait.
see,
And then now at this stage, her hair's just fully like down. She's
just
so
free,
loose
whapping in
now.
the wind like
Yeah.
a scrawny tail. I'm gonna call those in future. But yeah, she's impressed by soup. So fucking hell, well done, mate. And they
And
sit
he
and they.
He says, my aunt taught me how to make it so that I could have the soup I like wherever I am. You know, it's just tomato and basil.
It's fucking
That's
soup,
the-
mate.
that's
Like, it's the
ingredient.
easiest thing in the world to make.
I mean, you can make it wherever they cultivate basil, presumably.
And
Nowhere
tomatoes.
else. You
It's the
you
two
can't
key
just go and
ingredients.
forage in the wild.
Yeah.
Wherever you are, you may be able to make.
I mean,
the
you
soup.
can make just a big load of it and carry it around with you in your pockets if you want.
I was wondering
pocket
if
soup.
Gruyere cheese is like hard to get there. It's not like it's gone out and
Okay.
sourced Monterey Jack, which they must.
That's like an
make there.
American cheese,
Yeah,
though, isn't it?
It's not hard to get cheese.
No, but like I know they don't have a thing for unpasteurized stuff, which is a lot of like French cheese and stuff comes from unpasteurized milk and stuff, which I know they have.
Well impressed by the two types of two types of cheese. Wow.
I mean, what's two shops in the town? Because when she shows him the wine, he goes, "Oh, you went to so and so." So it's like, yeah, where
Yeah.
else was I going to get booze from, mate? Like a pie
booze?
shop. They only sell pie flavored porters, and nobody wants that. So yeah, they sit down and have this meal, and it's all very nice. And we get all this stuff about what was it? The mad woman in the pie thingy. You threw him a party when his dad left, and
Yeah.
all this. It's like fucking hell, it's Christmas. Where's the razzmatazz?
Yeah.
This is worse than the Ghost Factory.
Yeah.
And then they do that nearly kiss thing. And then
Oh,
she
you see. Oh, they just had cheese, Gruyere cheese, and like soup.
Mhm.
Ugh.
Yeah, but it's alright if you're both on it, isn't it?
Yeah, but they could all be bits stuck in, isn't it? Free bonus bit of sourdough.
So yeah,
Yeah.
they both lean in awkwardly, and then her phone calls, so she has to go get
Yeah.
it. Oh,
So
right
she doesn't
there.
get it in time because she's too busy thinking, I should just, do the kissing. And he's like, I'll go and make some more fucking biscuits. You go and answer the phone or whatever. So she
Yeah.
goes to answer the phone, and is it her dad again?
No,
Somebody at the
so
office.
she's got a voicemail. So I think she sends a voicemail back, and it's like, "There's something weird going on. My ankle's hurt. It's starting to feel better. Thanks for asking. Thanks for not asking."
Thanks for not asking. Stop. It's not a telegram.
Yeah, and then goes back downstairs, and then it clips over back again to the
Oh,
evil.
But yeah, just before it does that, Charles is at his writing desk trying to figure out this cookie recipe. And all I can think of, because he's got a pen in his hand, is that it's just written cookies.
Bleach? Question mark. I've
And then
tried
we get the
nothing.
cutthroat business world.
There's just
In
one
the-
ingredient missing.
It's just one ingredient missing,
Love.
and it's
That's what I thought it was going to be. That was going to be the thing. They were going to be like, it's because you've not. No, I don't
You've
want
not
to finish
thought.
that.
you've not stirred the love in.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah, that's a different film. And
And
then
then- so that-
yeah,
there's
and
all
the
this-
baddies,
Yeah,
the
all this
baddies.
bullshit speak.
there's
I've noted some
more-
of it down. The property is basically ours. It says all of it. I
then
changed my
they go-
important schedule again.
And then they go, "So where is Theodora anyway?" And he goes, "Fired."
yeah, she's been fired. She's fired. Like the Australian Alan Sugar. But he doesn't
What did
tell
you
her.
say? What do you say, Katie, that you look like? You know, we usually do like, oh, he's non-union such and such, like non-union Liam Neeson.
Oh, I just said he looked like a crinkled piece of white paper.
Just straight to the point.
Yeah, I'll give you it. Yeah.
He just has a very unusual face. He
His
just looks
face
really
has seen some
crinkled.
shit. Yeah.
He looks like someone who came back from war, a man.
I looked at him and I thought there are so many films that you've done that I'm going to watch on Last Orders.
If he doesn't play a wizard in at least 3 of them, I'm disappointed. So
and then
they're
they're
doing the cookies nonsense.
And she goes, "Oh, this is a nice photo of you. Look at you, all cute and squidgy." And then he goes, "Well, she definitely didn't show him the back of that photo." He goes,
No.
"What's that?" And there's
Hot diggity damn!
a recipe sticking out, and goes, "What? It's that." But then I have to sign up within 3 hours.
Oh yeah, he says that it calls for 2 tablespoons of vinegar, and then she says, "No, it's 1," which will become an important plot point later on.
Will it? Yeah, at no point. And then she's like, "But I can't." That was the thing, because it was like, "Quick, hurry! We've only got 3 hours." It's like, how far away is this town? What are you doing?
Near the office back home.
Are you walking backwards? So we get some good improv acting from Pie Lady and Santa. Hey, so anyway, they make a nice couple, don't they? Oh, look, there they are.
Yeah. She says, that we'll be having them for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And Santa says, "Oh, I'm already here for breakfast, lunch, and dinner."
Are they an item? Or is
Yeah.
it just like
they
a...
are.
Right, okay, I thought he might just be a weirdo that hangs around.
They have the necessary paperwork and bureaucracy in order to fulfill the papers that he needs.
Listen,
for
They only
deadline.
photocopied 2 pieces of paper because there's only 2 people entering this fucking contest.
Yeah.
The mayor waits up personally, they say, to
He's-
ratify that paperwork.
He's just practicing his scatting just before he comes in. Christmas scat. Harley on the tree. So he fills it in urgently. Not urgently. Like, prints his name. And then they're in the Christmas baking competition. That's another nugget of this film unlocked. Now, we can move on to the new weird sections, such as they do a deep kiss.
We do a deep. She does the thing of like, is this going to be corny, like where I get the frosting on your nose and you on mine, and then we kiss, and he just like grabs her face and like snog.
Pushes it into the oven.
He does look like he is 2 moments away from
2 drinks, 2 bad horse
knifing
races
people.
away from murdering someone.
He's got a bleak face, honestly.
Yeah,
He then acts like he shouldn't have kissed her. She like goes, "Oh no, you've only got 1 day to prepare for the cooking competition, and I've got a meeting tomorrow."
I was like, 5 minutes, love. Like, come on. I'll show you my candy cane.
She goes into the living room and looks at the tree, and then she has one of the like black and white flashbacks and he's saying something like, "Come on, Theodora, put up the ornaments on the tree."
But at the Chuzwazza.
Yeah, get that dango on the blonkadonk. Yeah, I mean, like, they paid for this effect, so they were using it at least twice. the black and white pan. But then she was like, "Oh, great, I love Christmas now." Not all this stuff previously with the pies and Santa and Jasmine. None of that. This was what it was. Seeing that tree and reminding of her as a small child putting an ornament on it while her dad bellowed instructions at her. Standard. He's practicing. How much practicing does it take to make biscuits?
No, he's got
by
the
way?
recipe now.
Stop putting 2 teaspoons in. 1.
He
vinegar
has to
into a
churn them
cookie.
out. I know, I can't get my head around that one anyway, but he has to churn them out now because everybody eats these cookies ridiculously fast.
Them in advance of the cookie
Like,
competition. Where
Michael
there's one
turns
Jasmine.
Michael turns up at least 3 times to just stuff his face full of
Yeah, I
competition
didn't
ready.
get, like, I'm not the 10 grand you make. You've spent half of that in fucking ingredients.
Yeah, and in vinegar.
Yeah.
She has a breakthrough as well. There's a nice outdoor scene
Where he's picking up twigs.
where he's harvesting twigs.
She's going
She
to
has
have it in his shoes.
In his shoes. The same
They're in
shoe
love,
size,
yeah.
are they now?
They're in love now.
They're in love.
Mhm.
You want to let someone else wear your shoes? That's love. Yeah.
She has a breakthrough about 2 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon of vinegar. The numbers must be wrong, and it's the numbers on the account are just wrong, as everyone's been saying throughout this.
All the way through. I was expecting like a Sherlock Holmes style scream thing and all the numbers flying about, and they'd been like, yeah. And no, she just
They didn't have the right package with Mr. Film to do all of that.
It's like,
it's just the
you're
black and
carrying
white
twigs.
flashback scene.
Twigs are made of wood. It's like fucking 3, 2, 1 at the end. It was. She runs off. She's like, I have to go and speak to the piss lady in the bank again.
For a way more antagonistic meeting than it was the first time round.
She goes there. Have you fixed them monitors yet? No. What the fuck have you been doing for 3 days? It's almost like you don't care.
She starts to walk out and she goes, "Oh, by the way, have you heard Charlie found the recipe and is entering the competition?" And then
So
walks
you-
out.
And your
Flings-
bucket-headed son, yeah.
Flings the
Eat
cookie
that.
into the bin as well.
Yeah.
Take
The
that,
son,
asshole.
son fishes it out of the bin and eats it because he's a
And he
feral
eats it and
child.
still doesn't like it.
Nope.
He doesn't he say something like, "I've eaten this 5 times today and they're
This is
definitely
the-
the best
Yeah.
ones you've
This
done."
is the best one, but it's still horrible. And I was like, how
He
was
says
it
that it's
ever a
better
contest?
than last year, and it clearly is not a compliment.
Look, they've paid someone to do funny faces, so they're getting their money's worth out of him.
I mean, I'll take it.
hours
Genuinely
on
livened
set.
up this film for me.
She goes back to Charles's house and receives a phone call from her dad. And she's like, "Listen, Dad, something's up here, and I know it's up here." And he's like, "Listen, you're fired." And she's like, "Dad, no." And then Charles comes in, and he's like, "Dad, is it?" And I was like, "What? What? Hang on." And he's like, "The man trying to take my farm is your father." "Oh, I see how it is." And she's like, "What? What is happening?"
It's known as a let me explain moment.
It is the let me explain moment. I haven't got a button for that. But it was just so out of nowhere that he was so angry that it was her.
Mm.
No.
Why wouldn't? I mean, she should have sort of mentioned, "Oh, by the way, I work for my dad." But they were too busy making soup and
Doesn't
getting
really
free
affect
pie
things
off
that
that old
much.
lady. Yeah,
Eat pie off that old lady. What?
you like sushi? Load of Mr. Kipling's over the nips.
He says some harsh but true things at this point.
He goes in a bit deep, doesn't he?
He
He's like,
does.
"And you stink." I was like,
Can't walk
"Fucking hell,
properly."
mate."
Just like him. You're the type of person that would interrupt somebody mourning a loss. It's like, well, she did, but that was a few days ago now.
Also, she's doing her job, pal.
And you got shit on my boots.
Yeah.
And you keep calling this home and it's not your home.
Yeah,
I think you
and
could leave.
get out. Yeah, and but he's
Finally
your
says
haircut's
get out.
stupid. Yeah, and you're rubbish at kissing, and your ass falls off. It's just madness.
And your ass falls off. Well, she got leprosy.
Detachable ass makes it easier to sit on eating
You
economy.
Pick up sticks if your life depended
Yeah, I'm in the proud tradition of stick farming. Like my father, who left because he was no good at stick farming.
Is that why they call it in the sticks?
Possibly.
Yeah.
Yes. So she's like, "All right, then balls to you. I'll go home, I guess." But
No,
I'm
I'll
gonna
go,
sort...
I'll go to my office.
All right, I got my.
Doesn't have a home.
No.
No.
That's the
And-
problem.
she-
That's why she's so hung up about homes.
And Charles sort of mooches about.
So
Probably
she's gone
flails
back
again.
to New York or wherever the office was, and he gets like a telling off from Jeffrey, the runner. What was he called? Michael.
Michael.
All of them, they stage an intervention.
They say
They all come and have a yell at him.
And it goes back to like, "Oh, well, you made a misunderstanding and you lost years of our friendship, and now you're going to do the same. You found a girl who is as perfect for you as these cookies, and you're letting us slip
Jesus
through."
Christ! Everyone in this town is obsessed. Jazz Mares there, just playing slap bass in the corner. Like Santa says basically the same thing. He's like, "Yeah, you loved her, and like she loved you, and you should pay more attention to each other, and don't let this bring you down." And he's like,
No.
"Yeah, maybe I was wrong saying that she had a removable ass. Thinking about it, like because she doesn't. Or if she does, she's hidden it well.
I've not even seen her try and pick up sticks. She might be good at.
If
stick
not,
farming,
we'll get her
you
some
know.
of them grabbers that all people have. Or, yeah. We'll work around it. I can learn to love her non-stick grabbing ways. Meanwhile, she's back at head office talking to Melissa, and apparently Kelly, the man Red Shoes boy, has found this, or has unlocked the accounts or something against the. He's given her all this information anyway.
All the information. And then he's gonna knowing that he's gonna get fired.
But he doesn't care. He's off to release his album of acoustic covers. Kelly at Noon, it's called. He does Waterloo Sunset in the summertime. Classics. I don't know where that's going.
I thought there was going to be a stereophonics thing, but never.
Fuck, no.
Yeah. Melissa says, "What's with the sparkle in your eyes when you talk about him, about Charles? You love him. Yes, indeed." She says, "You're in love with a cookie man."
Cookie man! And then they both go, "Yeah!" You're like, oh, how quickly she went from a scrawny tail to just normal woman. But yeah, and her dad comes in and is like, right, you're fired, and also I'm going to take that man's house and I'm going to burn the house to the ground and then piss on the ashes. And I'm like, this is dark. Melissa, get out of here. And she's like, Melissa, stay. For some reason. And then she basically blackmails her dad. She's like, I know what you've done.
Off the farm. Yeah.
I know what you've done. And if you don't sign this off.
At one point he says, you're not even in the same ballpark as Buffalo. I've got no idea what that means.
A lot of business happens in Buffalo. Buffalo business boys. That's who they operate. Wow.
BBB?
Yeah. 3B.
Buffalo business boys and bourbon.
Maybe.
Oh.
But she says, yeah, you either take this paperwork to your office and sign off the deed on the land, or I'll release all this information and you'll be scuppered. I love you, Dad, but I don't like you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a bit grim for Christmas. And he's like, oh, send it to my room. And then we cut to and Melissa's there, and she just goes, well, that was great. Thanks for involving me in that. Am I out of a job now? Yes, Melissa, you are. Sorry.
Oh, and the Santa's brought her cookies.
Yeah, there's a twinkle, ding, 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 ding. And then it's like, Melissa comes in with the cookies and is like, this has come from
an elderly man.
Looks like Santa.
Looked a bit like Santa.
Oh, yeah, because then Australian Dad says, Santa, there's no such person. You two are insane.
You can't handle such a simple, abstract concept as Father Christmas. It's just all business.
This is
Buffalo.
mad. This is a mad film.
He's the founder of the Buffalo Business Boys.
Yeah.
So yeah, we cut back to Little Richard, Ohio, where they're at the town hall. The raffle, Jazz Mayor says, be sure to buy some raffle tickets, otherwise Deborah's going to win them all. And Deborah goes, "Hooray!" and waves some raffle tickets. It's like, God bless you, Deborah.
There's some good jazz piano Christmas music in the background.
Yeah. I was expecting the mayor to do some jazz Christmas.
Well, I was like, where's the fucking choir that they wrangled about? We've got to pelt people from outside to entice them in.
The police have made them go inside as they were causing a public nuisance. Yeah, you can't throw hard candy at pedestrians in the middle of winter, sorry. That's how you get ants. And, okay, we're going to do the Christmas cookie competition thing now. I'm sure the choir do sing somewhat, but it's not like a full song. They just go like, ba, 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 ba.
My other favourite thing about this is that the cookie expert has got his own hat on.
own
He's
jazz
got
hat.
a professional biscuit guy on the side. Have you made a decision?
No, not that one. You could doing loads of facial expressions every time he eats a cookie.
Yeah. Have you made a decision yet? Not yet. You've only 2 to pick from, mate.
Yeah.
Not rocket science, is it? And then does Theodora show up at this point?
Yeah.
I think so.
In the crowd.
Not before he's been announced. Because I think this is when the choir do the big announcement. Ba 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 ba. And Hat Judge comes over and he's got a blue ribbon and a red card, I think. So,
yeah.
Get out of here with your biscuits, piss lady. And he gives it to Charles, who is like, yay, my mother's biscuits will live on forever now.
He does a big long speech.
Yeah. He doesn't tell them what the secret ingredient is.
No, that's true.
And then,
Theodora's
there.
them out in disgust. What? Vinegar.
And and Theodora's there. They do a sort of, oh, I'm sorry, I overreacted. And she's like, my bottom does come off, actually. Well spotted. And then they do a kiss, and I was like, all right, that's fine. And then her dad shows up, and he's like, I'm sorry I was such a prick.
And I'm sorry I never ironed my shirts, which are far too big for me.
They're my big Barry business shirts. Business blouses.
Big Barry's business. Buffalo.
You got a TC, you got a tugging top to stop them getting stuck on your belly. Yeah, this bit here felt so strange. Because why is he getting involved at this late stage of the game? He comes in, he says, yeah, sorry, I really like Christmas and I've just forgotten what it's all about or something. And then
everyone claps, because what else are they going to do?
And then it goes to my dad, Dennis! And it ends!
It's so weird.
I was so scared. Because I thought, have I given them the wrong film? Has someone cut the ending of another film over this one? But no, that's the ending. Dad comes in, says that he likes Christmas now, and everyone cheers. And then Dead Dad Dennis gets that was way too long about 2021's Christmas collision. James, your score?
How are we doing the score on this? Because it's the Christmas one, isn't it?
However you
Just
want.
make it up.
No hard
3.
and fast rules.
No, actually, no. I'm going to rate it up because actually, in talking about it, it was so much madder than I even knew at the time. I'm going to give this 5 bronze Jazzmares.
Ooh, that's nice. Katie?
I hated it so much. I just hated everything. So I'm going to give it 1 spoonful of vinegar.
It was weird and depressing and like 4 films rolled into one, and not one of them paid off in any way, shape, or form. So I'm afraid it's going to have to be 4 bronze sprained ankles, like on a horse.
Oh, what's the horse done?
Why is a horse wearing heels?
Got 4 legs. That's the only thing I can think of that had 4 legs. Dogs,
All right.
cats, loads of things have got 4 legs. But...
Jasmine. So all these people are fucking boring. I mean, I can't imagine anyone
All
thought they
but
were going to be. They're not exactly A-listers, are they? So Theodora is Sebrina Scott, not to be confused with Sebrina Scott, who is a witch. I ended up googling her a little bit. She's sells witchy things online.
Okay.
But more
Happy to
interesting.
give our business to her.
Yeah,
From
absolutely.
our huge audience share.
If you put in Hallmark of Greatness at the checkout, nothing will happen.
Nothing will happen.
But a spooky witch will come round your house and slap you.
So Sebrina Scott is Theodora, and just so little information about her anywhere. She started her films in 2009 and has been in 21 films, including. So this is genuinely the name of the film. The Remainderers. I can't even say it.
What?
Remainderers. The Remainderers.
The Remaindered. The Remaindered?
I don't even know. So it's like the Remaindered.
Right.
So yeah, that's one of them. But then the more interestingly,
People that have been remained.
yeah, Remaindered.
It's very rural Jura, isn't it? That?
Remaindered. And I thought this was a good one for us. Santa Claus versus the Zombies.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, please.
That's from
Oh.
2010, so you just know that's going to be good. Literally, I couldn't even do my usual thing of finding out how old she was in comparison to anyone else. I could only find out that she was 5'5". That is all the information that's on her.
That's enough.
But her and Charlie, who's John Wells, they've starred in a couple of films together already, including most recently in 2022, Wonder Woman, Molded from Clay, and Piranha
With a twist
Shark.
on the Wonder Woman series
I
there.
know.
What if she
Piranha
was
Shark.
molded from clay?
What if we made it?
Piranha Shark.
What if we cut her out of bread? What if we glued a load of teeth to a Zippo lighter? It's just so weird.
Molded from Clay and Piranha Sharks in 2017.
That sounds good.
That sounds good. So that, again, John's is kind of busier, been a busier boy than Sebrina, but those seem to be his main title films where he's actually like the main character. But he's been in The Legend of the Dark Rider, which looks a bit like Ghost Rider with what's his face in it. I forgot his name. Nicolas Cage, thank you. And Tasmanian Devil, which is a boxing film. So that's quite.
Oh, okay. Not where I was going with that.
Oh yeah, I thought that was going to be
The
different.
little thing that goes. That thing, yeah.
Yeah, the little spinny
Yeah.
thing. So the only thing I could find out about him is that everyone says he's just a lovely, nice man when on set.
Is he on nonthreateningboys.com?
I tried to get onto nicegirls.com to see if he was Nice Boy of the Week, but I think my privileges have been revoked. I'm not allowed to get on it anymore.
If they found us for laughing at them. Ah, don't be such fannies. It's only nice girls.
Because
Nice
you're not a
girl.
nice girl. They've decided.
I know they've decided I'm not a nice girl and I'm not allowed on it.
You can't look at the nice men.
Nice Boy of the Week. I couldn't see if he was in the. I couldn't even see if Colin, what's his face from before, was on there. Have you been all out? Are you a nice girl?
I'm just looking at it. I'm trying to get on it now. Yo, I can get on.
Oh.
I've had to go in via the back door. I've hacked in.
The system was down
Yeah.
for 3 days.
What's he
Nice girls don't like you going in through the back door. That's one thing.
What's he called? Charlie Butterworth.
John Wells.
Let's see if he's on here.
There's about
But he's
10
not.
John Wells, by the way.
No, something called the Celebrating the 25th Reunion of China Beach. I don't know what that is. And then lots of weekly roundups.
Oh man, if you don't know what China Beach was, then you weren't there.
You weren't there. Only the nice girls were.
And when I get excited, my little China Beach.
So the dad, Ronan, is Vernon
He had
Wells.
a name. Oh, lovely.
Yeah, Ronan apparently. So he is Vernon Wells, but I tried to check. They don't appear to be related, him and John Wells.
Or Orson Welles, not related
Oh,
either.
no, not Austin. No,
Oh, just the holes full of water in the ground.
Oh, yeah.
Wells, he says.
Oh well.
So he's just been in loads of mad things. Evil biker Wes in Mad Max 2. So that he's been in
Oh,
Mad Max 2.
okay.
This is the main role.
234 acting credits, 12 credits in 2021 alone. And then me and James have picked out some of our favourite films from his acting movies. So, Alien Danger 2. That's from 2021 with
How
Raven.
dangerous is the
Van
alien?
Sandler.
Well, enough to warrant a sequel.
Yeah. Jurassic Hunters / Cowboys and Dinosaurs.
Oh, that sounds like it's all the films thrown together, yeah.
Yeah. 2015. Silent Night, Zombie Night.
Oh, someone's getting close to
2009.
being sued there.
I know.
That choir's coming back. I can sense it.
Yeah. Manosaurus.
I genuinely think I've seen Manosaurus on the Sci-Fi Channel one night.
1994 that came out. Plughead Rewired, Circuitry Man 2 from 1994, in which 3 actors got heat stroke. So
It's
yeah,
a very different film.
mad. So my final fact is about the music. Did you enjoy the music?
It had a composer. I saw
I
there was a
know.
composer.
Boopity boo. Yeah.
Boop, 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 boop. So it had a composer that wrote all the music for it, which is mad because it just sounded like the same soundtrack the whole way
Generic
through.
shit that we put under the bed of this, yeah.
Yeah, but he was called Michael David Wheeler, and IMDb lists all the names of the songs.
Oh, mate.
And some of them, you'd imagine Christmas party, travel arrangement, whatever. But there's a
Michael
called-
attempted rape.
well, there's one called Charlie's Sorrow.
Oh, mate. That sounds like an
Oh, so
emo band
wistful.
as well.
Yeah, and then that's not Christmas. That's one part of it. And then one that's called I Still Don't Have Milk, which I don't know what
Oh,
that's
there's going to be one called, like,
reference
Hot Pie Action.
And another
I
one. Now that's what I call Christmas.
to. Yeah.
This is Christmas.
I don't know what the I Still Don't Have Milk is referenced
think
to.
It's a
that
deleted
well.
scene.
Deleted.
No, it's the second time Piss Lady and her son, when he goes, these are better than last time, I still need milk, though.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
You know, that good incidental music that was on there, and you're thinking, I want that on CD. Yeah.
I want that. Blink, 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 blink.
Put it on when I'm in the car. I'd be like, do you remember when you needed more milk? Memories. What a day.
Yeah, brilliant. Anyway, that's my fact.
Reviews for this were either 10 out of 10 or not.
Oh, I thought I was doing reviews.
No, I was going to do Barney's, but I mean,
Oh, no, fair
well,
enough.
we
Go
can
for it.
do one each if you want.
I think we probably picked from the same.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, you do them. You do them.
If I can speak.
If you,
Yeah. Awkward take on a possibly good story by Alana 10713. I just like my Christmas atmosphere fixed. I do not expect any great artistry from Hallmark-style romantic movies. Chose this one because of the title and story teaser. In the beginning, I quite liked Theodora's edge and Charlie's dark sensitivity, and thought it would have developed throughout the movie. But it was as if their personalities suddenly changed, mellowed right to the mainstream, and made no sense at all. Although the actors are good, a skilled director could have gotten so much more out of them. I don't think they could. I found the dialogue awkward, as well as the whole storyline and scripts, and the bad bad banker, 3Bs, and investor characters not believable in the least, as if they were plucked out of a Victorian's folly.
yeah.
Also, the movie looks and sounds like a cheap production with all the popping and hollow spaces. Shame, really. I don't remember there being any breakdancing in there. But 10 out of 10 by
Sound like it's on
by Stuart with that 9. Oh, it could be Stuart with hat, and it's hard to say. We love locally filmed Christmas movies, especially at Christmas time. What a wonderful, realistic story filmed in Ohio. Romantic and interesting storyline with beautiful actors. Enjoyable and entertaining evening watching with friends and family in Ohio. So as long as it's filmed in Ohio, Stuart with a hat will watch any old shit. Like, could just be a man throwing dead dogs off a bridge. And he'd be like, this is the fucking best thing I've ever seen. And finally, I'll do an actual 1 out of 10. Boring! Rickster, 5524. August this year. Slow moving and boring. I quit watching it after 20 minutes. Very few Christmas movies drag at a snail's pace. If you need a movie to sleep through without feeling like you need to restart it, this is the movie for you.
Agreed.
It's a very specific set of circumstances he needs this film for, though, there, isn't it? I'm going to put a film on that I don't ever intend to watch, just fall asleep to it.
Well,
Rickster. It was just weird. I'm inclined to agree with Alana's description of the fact that it just felt like movies jammed together.
yeah, it did.
Although Charlie's dark sensitivity, he says.
Yeah.
But yes, unless you have anything else to add to that, James.
Only that. So I looked at the right director's website. I can't remember her name now. Lana Beans. She quoted a review on it. She also claims that she's the actor's director. I don't really know what that means, but she quotes a review from somebody called Sebrina Della Place. Hallmark or not, Christmas Collision is easy to watch and happens to be a feel-good movie with all the studio makings of proper lighting, nope, acting, nope, set control, definitely not, and good sound effects and music. Fine. What she doesn't quote is that it then goes on to say that unfortunately the story has many holes and undeveloped supporting characters, which is absolutely true.
Very true. Kelly, Melissa, Michael probably got put in the stocks. It's a weird one.
That's what I never get.
His mum was in the collision. She
Well,
collided
yeah,
with death. I don't know
It's
either. I
very
don't
odd.
like none of these film titles make sense. The Christmas Under Wraps.
Oh, it's the collision of flavors.
It's the
what it
vinegar
is.
and chocolate sprinkles
And twigs. They go in
Twigs.
there.
Yeah.
The
Bourbon.
secret ingredient was twigs all along. Left twigs or right twigs. In conclusion, that was 2021's Christmas Collision, also known as an unintended Christmas or unintentional Christmas. I can't be bothered to check.
No.
Your favourite lines from the film?
You're in love with the Cookie Man.
Yes, indeed. She wants to take the farm. What do you mean take?
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
If you like what we do, please consider giving a small donation to Manchester's Wood Street Mission. We know times are incredibly difficult for everyone out there, but anything that you can spare goes a long way towards helping some of Manchester's poorest at Christmas. There'll be links in the show notes. If you can donate, that's fine. You're under no obligation to. This will still be free. We just wanted to use what little tiny reach we had to try and make Christmas better for everyone.